This is Realty Talk with Ellie and Gaelan. Welcome to episode 38 of Realty Talk with
Ellie
and Gaelan. We just talked for 10 minutes and I didn't hit the record button, so you are going to hear everything over again much faster, much quicker, because we don't want to spend... I apologize, Ellie. I just looked down. I'm like, oh, this is going great.
I didn't notice either.
So... recap what we talked about, the 7 minutes to 8 minutes that you were not going to hear because it was actually never recording. I just got back from traveling around. I'm fighting a cold. We're here. We're doing the thing. I've been very busy. Ellie, I last saw Ellie 7 days ago, 8 days ago. She's calling leads. She's making some contacts on some old leads, which I'm very happy about because she's being consistent and she's taking action. Me and Ellie have a plan for Ellie to
Dominate the world.
Dominate the world. And then I just talked about how I'm going to beat Matt Craig in golf, which is going to be tomorrow. We just went through this long spiel about how you're not going to hear it tomorrow because tonight's Friday and Jordan won't have it up before tomorrow morning, and nobody will listen to this before tomorrow morning. So long story short, you're going to listen to this next week, and you're going to look back on Saturday, which is tomorrow technically, but listening to this will be in the past. Stay with me, folks. And I'm going to beat Matt Craig in the For the Kids Charity Golf Classic, which right now, to be honest... So if you guys have not heard this, Matt Craig, friend of mine, is going to be a foe tomorrow. And we are raising money for children's charity, and we're playing a match play golf tournament at the Barracks. Matt is playing with all 14 clubs, which is a regulation bag. I'm playing with 3. And we're trying to make it kind of fun, and we're going to be filming it. We got a couple guys commentating. We each have caddies. My caddy has a dope outfit. Well,
Who's your caddy?
Meg.
Oh, awesome.
It'll be crazy. And then Forrest is caddying for Matt. It's awesome. Be fun. It's be really
excited.
Fun. So we're having this fun event. And right now, this is without anybody paying any money tomorrow because suggested donations, $10 for anybody that goes. Obviously, nobody's obligated to pay, but suggested donation. We right now, I think, have raised $600 to $700, which is insane. So I'm hoping that we can get over the $1,000 plateau tomorrow. And this is literally on a whim. 2 guys like just coming up with this
a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago.
Less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We came up with this and we're like, all right, we're just going to play and we're going to make it happen. And really no prep time. So I think we're going to make this a yearly fundraiser and I think we're going to have a blast doing it. So, but long story short, I beat Matt. Congratulations. The winning money went to the JCEO. Again, you're hearing this in the past, future of the past, but whatever. So I beat Matt, or Will, and did, and dominated. And Ellie hit him with a pie with rotten egg, meringue, and hot sauce on top in Matt's face because Matt lost. We recapped it. Look back on Facebook.
We'll discuss the pie part.
look back on Facebook and see it all documented. So that is it. So that was the last 7 minutes. It's funny how I just took the last 7 minutes and took me 3 minutes to quickly explain the last 7. Sorry, folks. Okay, Ellie, what's your topic?
My topic is buying versus renting.
Please expand. The floor is yours now, Ellie. Go ahead. You know what's actually funny? The audio version, the video version is actually recording. So what we said isn't audio approved, but we can still put it on the whole video. So if you guys actually want to go see the first 7 minutes, it's just kind of a repeat. You can watch the video.
Did you turn that on?
That was on. I know that was on because I saw the red
Okay.
button. This wasn't on. I should have
Okay.
saw that red thing. Look at how blatant that is, like in front of
Yeah.
it. It's like a red dot with red writing, almost like like a legit recording studio.
Yeah.
And that wasn't there.
Nope.
And
I didn't
the light
notice it
and
either, though.
and the recording light button wasn't on. Very good. Well done, Gaelan. So, Ellie, topic. Go ahead.
At least we didn't do the whole thing.
Imagine
you
that.
realized.
I caught it 7 minutes in. We're good.
So owning versus renting, there are pros and cons to both. Renting is not always a bad idea depending on where you are in life. I would say cost wise, it's not always a tremendous difference because you're going to ultimately end up paying for your landlord's mortgage and taxes and insurance and whatnot, depending on where you're renting and what you're renting, obviously. But if you're renting, my 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment was pretty close to my 3-bedroom, 2-bath mortgage. And so I guess cost-wise, I wouldn't say there's a huge difference. Again, it depends on where you are. But as far as big expenses go, renting is certainly cheaper. If the roof needs to be replaced, you're not paying for that as a renter. If really any kind of damages happen, that's unless damages happen to your belongings, in which case have renter's insurance. Funny little tidbit, but those are the pros to renting. You don't have to deal with maintenance on your own. If the window breaks, if the roof is leaking, if your toilet floods, you're calling your landlord. You're not paying for a plumber or an electrician or a contractor to come in and take care of it. And that can be a pretty significant roadblock for people who are looking to buy, just being able to have that and the upfront cost of buying. But the pros of owning your own place are you don't have to deal with a crappy landlord. If the roof is leaking, you can fix it. You don't have to wait on someone else to fix it. You can paint the walls whatever color you want to paint them. It's your property. You don't have to worry about being evicted just because the landlord's selling the property or whatever reasons. You can do really whatever you want with it.
Yeah, I think if somebody's renting, the ideal renters or people that should be renting are people that do not plan to be in a spot long term. Mm-hmm. And if you're only going to be in a location for maybe 1 to 3 years, I probably wouldn't buy. I would just rent because I don't think you're going to make your money back that quickly by buying and trying to sell. I would just rent. Or you're somebody that does not want to do maintenance, meaning, and there's some people that are just like, hey, I know I'm not getting equity. I'm throwing 100% of my payment out each month to somebody else. None of it's going back and being reinvested into from an equity point.
Yeah.
You cannot benefit from appreciation in the value of the property, but they understand that and they would rather not have to deal with anything. So if they don't want to mow the lawn, if there's a fix, they don't want to fix it. If there's damage to the outside of the house, they don't want to fix it. But obviously the negative of that is you do not get the appreciation in value and you don't get the monthly buildup in equity. So buying a home is a long-term investment. So if you're buying a house, the value of the property is going to go up. Like over the long term, you will make more money / save more money. For the short term, it's better to rent in the sense of if you're not staying in an area for a long time, or you're someone that's older that's like, hey, listen, I just don't want to deal with maintenance anymore. I'll pay my rent.
Yep.
I want to just not really have any. I don't want to be tied down where I can get out of it within a month or whenever my lease ends. So there's pros and cons to both, depending on what you want to do. To me, if you're established in an area and you want to stay in an area long term, I would buy because the long-term payoff is going to be there and it's going to make way more sense to purchase.
You'll be paying your mortgage instead of your landlord's.
Yeah, and turn around 10, 20, 30 years. Values, I don't know the last time homes really went down over the long term. Most homes, if you go through history, I take it 30 years ago, we've gone up and down in the economy, but ask any of your parents what they bought their home for back in the 70s and 80s. They're probably double, triple, 4x what they bought it for back then because they put improvements in and just the natural appreciation of the market over 30 plus years, they're going to be able to make a lot more money back on their house. And that's when it's nice when all of a sudden it's like, hey, their house is paid off 10 years into it and they spent the last 20 years not having a mortgage payment, basically paying their taxes and living for free. Yeah. So there's definitely pros and cons. Just kind of figure out where you guys are at in the process and kind of where you are in life stage. My topic was this past week, I had the opportunity to join brokers around the country in Canada at a kind of a very small group of like a little mastermind group. And I was asked to go to it, which was an honor in itself because some of these guys are real ballers. They're not like they've been in the industry 20, 30. One guy was in 20, 25. There's a guy in for over 30. There's a guy in for 40 years. I was the youngest person by 10 years, and a great group of people, extremely knowledgeable. The benefit I got out of it is I could sit in a room with 7 other people that have had years and years and years of experience. There's probably 150 plus years of real estate experience in that room. And I had full access to ask them anything and write down anything and share my experiences. And the thing was, I take it for granted, but it's kind of cool when I actually do. I understand the industry very well. There's certain things that I still need to work on, and that was my questions and stuff I asked them, but hopefully that's going to allow me to be better and bring it to our company and make our company better and give you information and stuff I learned. But there's a lot of stuff I do know better than a lot of agents, even that have been in the business for 20, 30, 40 years. So I felt that I brought just as much to the table as they brought to me. That pierced right through my ear, Ellie. Ellie's alarm went off. That's an aggressive alarm, Ellie.
No, it's so I don't forget things.
So, but it was cool in the sense that it was a very good give and take. But what I got out of it is, and I'm very big on finding mentors. So this is kind of a cool way. And each month I meet with people each month that are older, that have been in my position. Now it's a little tough around here because there's not many agents around here. There's 130. I mean, there is a lot of agents for our population, but in the grand scheme of things, there's not many people I can go and I can have conversations outside of our office about business, because most agents and brokers, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But a lot of brokers will not have open conversations with you about anything because they think you're like taking some of their pie or share of the pie kind of thing. And whatever. I mean, it's a mindset thing, but my thing is you go, okay, so now I'm with other agents that are in different parts of the country that are like, here, this is what I'm doing. Here's the new thing, because we're behind the times. A lot of these guys are from big cities, and they're like, hey, this is stuff that we're doing in the city. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we can implement that. It will be a little taboo in our area for a little bit, but eventually trends catch up, and we'll be on the forefront. And I'm getting all this knowledge, which is really cool. But for me, it's like, for being 9 years in real estate, and I've put a lot of hours into this, and I feel that I'm really fine-tuning what I know, but here I get to now piggyback off of people that have had many, many, many more years and all have strengths in different categories, and a lot of it is where they run businesses. Like, they're all brokers. They run companies. We're literally sitting there looking at guys' P&Ls, and some of these guys are making, their budget is astronomical compared to anything anybody around here would do, just because of the volume they can do. I mean, one guy there, his company sold 1,000 homes this year. Like, that's insane. 1,000 homes is insane. I mean, they're like over $200 million in business in 1 year,
cow.
which is insane. And like, here I am, like, I'm able to talk to these people in a 2-day setting in a room, like just sitting there, like literally pencil and paper and just shooting the shit basically and going over stuff. And for me, I kind of look at that as you got to find, we always go back to this, like, people that are new into the business, find a mentor. And as you get more experience and you become better, your mentors change. You know what I mean? Like, and your mentors expand. So like, when I started out, like, my mentor when I started was my dad, and my dad's been great. And but what happens as you get going, and I find that I've gotten better, it's kind of like anything else. Like, Tiger Woods still has a golf coach, and professional athletes still have coaches. And it's like, why do they have coaches? Like, do these people need coaches? They're really good. Well, they do. They need the latest. They need just a little. I mean, they're trying to like get the next 0.5% or next 1/4% better, because that's how strong it is. So as I've been able to, the adaptation of learning, when you first start off with something, you adapt very quickly. It's kind of like I think me and John talked about this in the podcast. Like, when you start lifting weights, like, you adapt to lifting weights very fast because your body has not done anything. So the level is great. So the first year you lift, you're setting PRs all day long. But every time you go in the gym, it seems like you're lifting more and more weight. Well, then what happens? 2, 3, 4 years in it, very rarely do you ever get a PR on a lift because your body's adapted. So that just getting an extra 5 pounds in a lift takes you way more effort than it was to get 100 pounds in your lift when you first started. And that's the same thing in real estate. You learn a lot very fast. Like, the first couple of years, you're just like a sponge, because one little tip can make you go from here to here. Well, when you've been in it for a decade, that now one little tip might get you from here to here, but that makes such a difference. So I'm literally at the point now where what's that one little thing that I can get that's going to just improve a little aspect? And there's one thing that I find I really struggle with in our business, and I know it's like a chink in my armor kind of thing. Like, it's a weakness of mine, and of course I'm always looking at how can I limit every single weakness or eliminate every weakness I have. And there's some things I think I'm really good at, but there's a couple things that I know I'm not good at and I struggle at. So me, it's like, how can I attack that weakness? And that's what I did this weekend. Like, they go like, what's your biggest problem? Boom, this is it. And I have 7 guys saying, boom, 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 boom. Like, and I'm like, cool.
That's awesome.
Like, ding, 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 ding. That's what I talked about. That's my notebook that we're going to go over soon. But so the biggest thing is find a mentor and learn from them. And if you're new into real estate, shadow somebody, get your broker, get another agent that's been doing it for a while, and watch what they do. Follow them around day by day. Ask questions, bring items to the table, or like, hey, what do you think I should do here? What do you think's one little thing I should try? Like kind of that thing that popped into my head. That was something I'm like, I could do it, but I'm like, I think this is better for Ellie. Like, I think this is an opportunity you could really run with, because you're going to be able to put more time into it, and I think it's going to give you a bigger payoff than it would give me. You know what I mean? Like, I think your effort put in is going to pay dividends, where I won't be able to put as much time and effort into it, so I don't think I'll get as much of a return, where you are like, actually, I can put more of an investment in and get much bigger return. But it's like little things like that, because I know, like, I right now will be your mentor. Hopefully you get really good. Hopefully I'm always better, and you could, like, in the sense of, I'm always at a pace where you can still learn from me. But there's a point in time you'd be like, listen, Gaelan, I'm going to branch out a little bit and try to learn from other people. It might not be, a lot of the mentors I meet with each month are not in real estate. They're just people that I have a lot of respect for. And it might just be a simple 30-minute, 40-minute coffee once a month, but I get to pick their brain on stuff. And it might be business, might be mindset stuff, might be leadership stuff, might be managing, all these different things, might just be budgeting. Like, a lot of things people don't think of, and it's kind of cool, but I seek those people out because I know the quickest way to get better is to learn from somebody that's already done it. So that was my big takeaway from this past weekend. It was an honor to be asked, and I think I've pretty much been invited into the club, so I think this will be kind of a few times a year I'll be able to meet with these people, and
awesome.
So I'm excited. So that's it. I talked a lot about that, but find a mentor in anything. It doesn't have to be real estate. If you're getting into if you're becoming a nurse, follow the nurse around. If you're getting into teaching, find a teacher that's been doing it for 20, 30 years and pick their brain. They've been there. They've made the mistakes. They'll save you time. They'll save you money. They'll save you a lot of headache and heartache. Just let them show you the ways and trust them. So that's it. That's my spiel for today. Ellie, anything else?
Nope.
Okay, you going to enjoy the weekend?
Yes.
And again, you guys are listening to this in the future. I have beat Matt Craig. I have actually completely annihilated, embarrassed. Matt Craig cried. Let's just say that. Matt Craig cried because I beat him so bad.
And if none of that happens next week on the show, Gaelan will eat his shorts with a fork and knife.
Can't wait to donate all that money to the JCEO, which is the team I'm playing for. Hashtag Team GT. All right. That's episode 38. If you guys see Matt Craig, say you're sorry for how bad I beat him.